Kane Arena, where Melbourne United host the Brisbane Bullets. Both teams have been underperforming this season. Melbourne have had their injury troubles, some form slumps. They've been taking some time to get their synergy together. And Brisbane, well, they've sacked their coach. Sam McKinnon steps in as the interim head coach and the GM, so all the pressure is on Slam and Sam. I think Melbourne will get the job done, but Brisbane have been much improved. Let's focus on this same-game multi for Melbourne. Ray John Tucker to lead this game in scoring. I like Chris Goulding to be the one passing the rock and Melbourne to cover. Enjoy the game and gamble responsibly.
You know the score. Stay in control. Gamble responsibly.
NBL23 has been a nightmare for perennial finalists Melbourne United. 5 straight losses is unfamiliar territory, but some key pieces are coming back into the puzzle as they host a Brisbane outfit with an interim coach and problems of their own. What we have are 2 desperate teams head-to-head, toe-to-toe, as we welcome you to Saturday Night Hoops here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Big contest coming your way from John Cain Arena. 9th on the ladder, Melbourne United play host to the Brisbane Bullets, who are 8th on the ladder. And Shea Ili is back, Baines back for Brisbane. Well, this is going to be an important game as Humphries and Baines get to go at it as well. I'm John Casey. Thanks very much for your company as well. Alongside me is Championship winner Pete Hooley and 2010 MVP Corey Williams. How is this one going to unfold, Corey?
Man, I don't know. But here's what I will say. I do not think Melbourne United can go 6 straight L's. I can't see that happening. I can't.
I'm not sure any of us could see 5 with the way they've been in the last few years. Have a look at the ladder right now. It is 2 of the bottom place teams. And you go back to pre-season, a lot of people had these 2 teams being in the finals. Things haven't panned out that way, and a lot of it hasn't been necessarily the way they've gone in terms of injuries and guys being out. But Shea Ili back in the lineup, Aaron Baines, those are 2 massive ins. Especially for what the team has needed. And I'm very intrigued with this game, Case, to see which way it plays out.
Well, Shea Ili back is an excellent pickup for them. He's played just the 3 games this year because of ongoing concussion problems. But in those 3 games, he's delivered 8 points, 3 assists. He's 50% from deep, but he's even more influential than those numbers might suggest.
It's exactly what he is. His influence on the game, his calming influence. When he's out there, he's a terrific defender. He is an annoying, one of the best defenders in the league before anything else. His offensive game has continued to improve year in, year out. But what he does, he slots into the starting point guard role, and it allows the rest of the team to go back to the way they were recruited. Return Mays to be a Barry Brown Jr. type off the bench, instant offense off the bench. That's how they were designed to be at the start of the year. But the way that he's been playing, obviously, Return Mays is a lot more than that, but Isaac Humphries back as well. He's going to be a big presence against Big Banger.
Well, let's get courtside. Jenny Screen will be joining us, and a little earlier she spoke with Dean Vickerman, the coach of United.
How's the week been? What's been going on?
Yeah, you know, positive in having Shea Ili back and having Isaac Humphries back, and so you know, we're excited to go on the last 13 games with a full roster for the first time. So interested to see you know, what this group can get done.
I love that you have a smile on your face. Obviously, Shea Ili, for a lot of people would say the engine room for you. Obviously been out with concussion and those protocols. How are you going to utilise him tonight? Is he 100%?
Yeah, no, he's got pretty good. We had a little summer league game on Tuesday, which was great, and practice was good as well. So I'm sure his tank will burn out at different times, so we'll sub him accordingly. But yeah, we've missed an extra ball handler, an extra creator for this team. So we're looking forward to how he can help the basketball move for us tonight.
Speak about moving forward. Obviously, you've been in this league for a long time, distinguished coach, credible. It would be, you know, a hard season thus far to date in NBL.
Jenny Screen there with Dean Vickerman. And for Brisbane, well, look, they go about things with their injury problems in a different way. They've got some great guards out there, and we know that Sobey and Johnson and Kadee can all get it done.
Well, they can, and they look like they, especially Nathan Sobey, have played a lot freer in the last few weeks. And we talk about Shea Ili being the engine room. Nathan Sobey's the engine room of the Brisbane Bullets, because the way that he plays is so contagious. His energy, he's so dynamic on the offensive end. And then Tyler Johnson, he can be some instant offense as well. He's been coming off the bench a lot this season and starting to fill up where he has to. And I think Sam McKinnon has just said to a lot of these guys, look, I need you to play a bit freer on the offensive end and get us going. And Kadee's going to always be that more level-headed player.
DJ Mitchell delivering 10 points a game and 17 threes at near 60%.
Oh.
He's a focus as well.
He's knocked down with his feet set. DJ Mitchell played well against Tassie the other week, but he's just a nice little piece for them to slot into the power forward spot. He's a big body. He's not a bad athlete as well, but if you let him get free on the perimeter, that thing's going down.
What do you think they need to get out of Mitchell tonight, Corey, if they're going to win?
He's going to have a big one at both ends. He's going to have to dominate at that fourth spot. And it's going to be a good matchup between he and Isaac.
Let's have a look at the champions starting five here for Melbourne United. As you can see, Marcus Lee will get the start. They're not going to bring Humphreys back into the starting five, but Shea Ely gets in straight away.
Yeah, no doubt. And you heard Dean Vickerman talking. Shea Ely can't expect him to play starters minutes. But this is the way that this team was recruited. Obviously, we've got Oriel Porty was in. To have Shea Ely start and Rattan Mays play starters minutes off the bench, and there is the champion starting five for the Bullets. Big Bainesy is back alongside Nathan Sobey, DJ Mitchell, and Rasmus Bark had some good little minutes as well. He's still in there with no Tanner Krebs.
So we are set to go from John Cain Arena, the second of our double headers here. After all the excitement of Cairns against Illawarra in double overtime, it is Melbourne United who control the tip here. And it's underway. I'll be looking for a bright start as well. They've got a busy schedule ahead. They're off to Perth on Monday, but in the corner here's Tucker unsuccessfully. They keep it alive, Dylan. This ball spills to Golding. Shovel pass, Lee, open scoring, and it took just 30 seconds.
This is the first time this season Rattan Mays has come off the bench. Now, as I mentioned, this is what they'd envisioned when they're putting the roster together, but it might still be a little surprising considering he's leading nearly every statistical category for Melbourne United.
Kadee with it, shot clock at 5. Goes to Baines, who's been promising from deep, but not on this occasion, and Lee grabs the board. Here's Tucker, jumping upstairs, throwing it down in style.
And Aaron Baines closes out hard. You know, the scouting report, that's a soft closeout. Easy blow-by for an explosive dunk.
Well, he has shot the ball better in the last few weeks, Ray-John Tucker, but you saw that first three ball. If you're Aaron Baines closing out, you know he's got the speed. You just got to probably slow down a little bit on it.
Well, Baines missed the first tip in, but cleans up his own mess to open Brisbane's account. Took 90 seconds. 5 and 10 is the record for Melbourne. Here's Illy quickly into the play and knocking down the three.
When he came back after missing the start of the season with those 2 concussions, he shot a 3 just like that in the opening minute or so. He wasting no time in getting back on the scoreboard.
Sobey finds Baines operating on the other wing. Again, no reply from deep. Now Lee ahead of Illy here. For support on the other wing as well. Tucker looming as Illy puts it on the deck. Nice skills as he draws a foul.
You can see the Amy replay, hard closeout, easy blow by, explosive finish by Ray John Tucker as he does the signature flex.
It's a good business decision by Nathan Sobey as well. And there is Shea Ely. Shea Ely's a player, he maybe just because he's coming back from being out for so long, he can go underneath the ball screen, but he has earned the respect you have to guard his 3-ball now.
He wouldn't be out there if he wasn't ready to play.
No doubt. Well, you heard Dean Vickerman talking to Jen before the game saying he played Summer League. So Melbourne United do a Summer League on Tuesday night where a lot of players around NBL1, maybe the Velma players, training guys who can just keep that match fitness. They run it every year. So they obviously throwing Shea Ely in there just to get a bit of game-like fitness.
And you'll know he'll be super hyped to play because he's missed so much of the season and they've suffered because of it. So him coming out, he's going to give you 100% for sure, regardless of how long he's out there on that court.
24,
Lee just bumping Nathan Sobey. Aaron Baines is back, but
14 shot clock here, Nathan.
Still love to see Nathan Sobey really stay in attack mode. I think he's been excellent. That's the way he has to play. Oh, that's a really nice little pass breakdown defensively from Melbourne United. You feel like Brisbane go as Sobey goes.
It's always been like that.
Spot on.
Here's Aquera. Picks up the dribble, hands over. Golding back to Aquera. Baines disrupts it, deflects the ball out of court.
That's why I love to see him, like you just said, on the front foot. Passive Sobey is no good to nobody.
10 on the shot clock here for Melbourne. They lead by 5. And they get Illy another look from outside. This time can't connect. Mitchell the rebound and shares it with Sobey. D bounces into Tucker, and as you heard from Michael, Aylan stepped out of bounds. They turn it over.
So Rajan Tucker has been really consistent. His physicality on the defensive end. When he locks in, he can be a really good defender. He's got the speed, he's got the strength.
Quera beating Lee, adding another 2. Enterprising start here from Melbourne United, and Sam McKinnon may have seen enough here. Timeout called by Brisbane inside the first 3 minutes.
United on the front foot.
You've got to be able to take some contact on your foot.
He's still chatting to the referee, saying he thought that was probably a charge. Look at it here, David Quera.
Just applying pressure. Easy pass over the top. Nice alley-oop finish.
Might have a little case there. Bainesy. Wasn't called a stand-up timeout from Sam McKinnon within the first 2.5 minutes. He's not happy with the way they've started this one.
Such a tough ask for Sam McKinnon as well to step in mid-season. Obviously with their injury problems as well.
I tell you what,
Step your game up.
That's what he's saying, and it's
Step it up. This is unacceptable.
It's not in those words. It's post-midnight words. If you can read lips, see, that's why we stay out of those stand-up timeouts.
Sometimes I feel like, as a coach, you need to have an ex-superstar hooper sometimes to coach you. Because if you never played the game at a high level before and have excelled, sometimes the players don't really listen to the stuff you're saying all the time. But Sammy Mack was a gun.
Yep.
And you better believe his words, it's going to be felt.
Tyler Johnson onto the floor. Sobey on a pass intended for Mitchell, and they coughed it up once more. So exactly what they were aiming for out of the timeout.
Well, you add to that the general manager as well. Those words are going to be felt. Make no mistake about it. Just a little 2-3 zone here from the Bullets.
Lee, slow pass, well done Illy to keep it alive. Golding gets the look, can't complete it. Johnson the rebound, hands over to Sobey. So I think over 3 minutes played here. Melbourne on top by 7. And foul's going to be called here on Chris Golding as we go courtside to Jenny screen.
Good evening, gentlemen. Obviously, we just saw Sam McKinnon, the head coach of the Brisbane Bullets, give a little bit of an attitude adjustment to a timeout to his players. It was interesting before the game. I spoke to him. I said, you seem like a pretty calm coach. I said, you had some pretty prolific coaches like Gorgon in your time, who's known to be animated on the sidelines. As we see Bainesy find the bottom of the net there. He said, I'm pretty calm as a player, I was. He goes, but as the season goes on, let's see what happens, guys. And that there was an example of that what they came out with was just not good enough.
No, exactly right. And that's not good enough either. That's a soft turnover from Aquera. First in the game called on Melbourne.
I like this zone switch up, and this is what Jason Kadee does. And if you're Marcus Lee, you can't help off too much because Baines is going to always try and find that three-point line and tee off. And that zone has really caused some issues the last couple of possessions.
But it's interesting because Marcus Lee is a rim protector. And it's going to be interesting in this whole game because if Baines begins hitting outside, your natural instinct as a rim protector is to stay in the paint.
So Illy brings Melbourne back up the floor. Good start from them. Aquera fires, good option as he opens his scoring account.
And I was waiting for him to face up and look at the basket.
They're letting him get to that spot.
Baines hands over to Sobey and gets it back. Offensive foul's now called on Aaron Baines as he bounces into Rajon Tucker.
Subs both ways. Side out.
And a look at it here from Bainesy. Yeah.
Oh.
Absolutely. I mean, Rajon Tucker retaliated after getting hit, but you're going to feel that one.
Tom Mays picks up the dribble, goes to Barlow. In the corner, Tucker in traffic. Wraparound pass. Lee working here against Gack. Shot clock to 5 in the corner.
Golding Aircon on that side of John Cain Arena. I don't often see that.
Here's Kadee. A head and shoulders past Tucker there. Went on with the dribble and intelligent play to draw the foul.
Nice take. He goes to the line for 2.
Okay, we got 2.
Starting to warm themselves up in this first quarter after that spray that coach gave him. Coming out, giving a better effort at both ends of the court.
Brad Newley's had some really good minutes in recent weeks.
Yes, he has.
He was playing the backup power forward for a little bit. That looked like he found his groove. And since then, he started to get back to what he does well. Turn the corner, put heat on the rim.
That's why you sign those crafty veterans with experience.
Jason Kadee, 88% free throw shooter this season, 22 of 25. Always been good from the stripe.
Gash. Jack Gack into the game. He was terrific last week. With no Aaron Baines, no Harrison.
Really turned it on. 14 points, game high 9 rebounds, and did it on 7 of 9 shooting in his 19 minutes. Nice pass. Barlow, the jam, provided by Marcus Lee.
Real good offense right there by United. Good extra pass by the big fella diving down the lane.
Kadee gets it from Sobey, works inside Newley. Now Sobey gets a good look and fills it up to open his scoring account.
Great penetrating and kick by Kadee over to Sobey. One possession game.
Newley gets it from Mays, penetrate, push shot from Brad Newley, opens his scoring account.
That's what he does well. Just gets into the heart of the defense and normally finishes in the front of the rim, but nice little floater there. There's another illegal screen from Gack this time. Just going and trying to fight over.
To the opposite corner. You've got no way. Outside your stance. Does
not look too good. Chris Golding. Hopefully that's just a bit of a stinger. So he's starting to get his walk back into him now. Have another look at it here. Just got rolling over on Gack's screen. He's going to stay out there.
Try and shake it off. A little over 4 minutes out from quarter time here. Arlo getting some heat from Harry Froling. Now Humphries onto the floor as well. Newley takes on Tyler Johnson, whose defense was good enough there. Golding, the only starter on the floor at the moment for Melbourne United. He's under some duress. Restart. Golding in the corner, and he knocks down the 3.
Does not need much room at all.
Just airball one from there. So you assume a shooter like him, made over 1,000 in his career, was going to make the correct adjustment.
Sobey, nice pass, Froling, and he's fouled and off to the free throw line.
And that's exactly what Nathan Sobey does so well. The burst of speed when he turns the corner. Really good effort from Harry Froling just to stay ready for that pass, because it looked like Nathan Sobey was going to go up for the layup. Let's go to the free throw line for 2.
Hooley, I got a question.
Oh, hit me.
Former teammate, he's won a championship with him. He's hit over 1,000 threes. How was his work ethic before practice and after practice?
Always one of the first there, obviously, but it was more afterwards, where everyone would shoot afterwards for about half an hour, and he wouldn't. But then he'd go and shoot once everybody had stopped, because obviously there's a lot of balls flying in the rim, and we used to do a shooting drill where I think it was 5 minutes or whatever the record was, we get one rebounder, and I used to rebound for him, and it became a robot. Great pass there from Matan Mays, Brad Neely in the corner. No good. It was just robotic. Stayed in the same spot, and I think that record is still there.
Johnson shut down by Barlow with the excellent D, and Newley leads the charge back the other way as well. Found his way to the baseline. Newley has another 2, and the margin continues to grow here.
The crafty vet coming off the bench provided quality minutes. In that open court, he's as good as anyone in this league.
Now Brisbane with some problems here. A little over 3 minutes out from quarter time. Bark, bounce pass, never looked likely. Barlow goes to Rattan Mays. Golding joining in at the top of the key. Lob pass for Humphries, who brings it down and gets it done, opens his scoring again.
Well, Sam McKinnon's not going to be happy at all, because one thing to turn the ball over, but to have it break down in the same moment on the defensive end is just not going to get it done.
See, quick steps there came from Barker. Couldn't finish it. Gack athletically tried to put a lid on it.
11, block.
In the end, I'm not sure how Gack didn't put a lid on that. That was probably harder to miss. He was in the right spot. So getting downhill once again.
He just wanted to go to the free throw line. Shoot two the hard way.
5 of 11 at 46%. Thanks for practice. As we mentioned, he was impressive in that loss to Tasmania on Sunday. Good numbers for him, and plenty of people think he's got a big future. Humphries grabs the board off the miss. The back end there. Now off the ball, Gack and Newley combined.
Go 11, off the ball.
Harry Frolling picks up his first personal. 4th team foul on Brisbane. Already Melbourne with 5 fouls. They've done a good job of this, Melbourne, given that they had to restructure the starting 5, and Humphries coming back, Illy coming back from a long layoff as well. They've got 6 assists from 5 different people here in the opening quarter, Melbourne, on their 10 field goal hits. Getting it through sets of hands and finding some rhythm at the offensive end. They lead by 10. Rattan Mays this time solo. A little deep with it.
Ball got stuck on his back. He wasn't carrying the ball.
And we're going to have free throws here because Newley's picked up his first personal and will walk to the other end of the floor where Nathan Sobey will go to the strike.
Yeah, easy call. And Sobey had the position and the athleticism to go up and get that rebound. Brad Newley flicked him across the back of the head.
Good free throw shooter, Nathan Sobey, 36 of 40 at 90% this season. And speaking of this season, with thanks to Latrobe Financial, we are giving away a guaranteed $50,000. Enter now at nbl.com.au/legends for your chance to win.
Someone down Sobey. 4th point of the night so far.
1.
Taking 7 free throws in the game already, Brisbane. Just 2 of 2 for Melbourne so far. Sobey now with 5 points, and only Marcus Lee with 6 has more in the game. 8-point margin, a little over 2 minutes out from quarter time. Peatling to Humphries, nothing on offer. Retreats to Illy, now Rattan Mays. Tucker joins in, getting busy, high off the window, and they're going to count that.
Well, it's going to go in anyway. Major Tucker, how's the hang time?
Great use of the body.
No, he's an athlete.
To create that space.
It's an interesting lineup.
It is.
I haven't seen too often. Shea Illy, Rattan Mays, Tucker out there. You saw the ball moving, and everybody has the ability to turn the corner, which means the defense has to stay in front.
And Peatling and Humphries in tandem as well as the big man goes down, and Baines misses the dunk. The tip in from Harry Frolling. Here's Illy pushing the issue once more. Got beyond Bark. Rattan Mays. He too got the better of Kadee. Peatling short-armed it. Loose ball. Kadee gets after it. Johnson to his right. Sobey to his left. Good option. Should finish, and Sobey does. 7 in the game now for Nathan Sobey. And Brisbane, after being down 11, close to within 6. Timeout called. 1:25 left, turn number 1.
Nice transition play. It's a 3-on-2. Nobody committed. He went deep in the paint. They committed late. Gives it off to Sobey for an easy layup.
Sobey with 7 points in the game already. Season average of 14. That's better work from Brisbane. They were shaky early, but it seems though they've steadied a little bit here. Chris Golding just the 3 points at this stage.
Let's have another look. So this is one of those ones. So Chris, you talk about understanding. So Chris Golding gets to the corner, gets to the 3-ball, tries to turn away, thinks it's good, look good out the hand with a little turn away. Probably didn't expect it to work out, and then said, you know what, take 2, I'll make the adjustment. Nothing but nylon. Yeah, that's exactly You talk about being robotic and mechanical, where you just know those little things, you get to the exact same spot, and just some elite shooters. And I mean, you've been on many teams where you've been a part of that. He's obviously one of them. And there's Eddie Betts. Shooters in the pocket. There's Betts. Not much better than that. You ever get to see Eddie Betts run around?
I haven't.
You're getting as quickly as you can. You should roll out some of the vision of him.
Yeah.
Outstanding stuff.
Really more exciting with Adelaide Oval. We can bring back those Adelaide memories, Case, if you want.
He's fantastic to watch. I enjoyed him more when he was at Carlton, to be honest.
Is that because you're a Port fan?
Why would you assume that? No, Eddie Betts, one of the all-time greats, and even better off the field as well with the work that he does. Loves his hoops. Here's Tucker trying to draw a foul. Couldn't get a whistle initially, then lost the handle. Good hustle down low to D. Ball comes to Illy, baseline, looking to create, and does so for Humphries for the finishing touches.
Made something out of nothing there. Ball was sticking a little too long.
Johnson fires, knocks down the three to open his scoring account.
Right back at you.
And I like this from the Bullets, playing fast down the other end. That's off a made basket. Defense wasn't set up. Dean Vickman's not happy, but I like this.
Losing his mind.
And I like this from Brisbane. Instead of trying to play slow and trying to get through offense, let's just speed it up with the lineup we've got out there. You've got Tyler Johnson out there, you've got Nathan Sobey. So everyone's trying to figure out who's got who. Well, someone's got to find that man because he is lights out from beyond the arc.
Here we go.
42% this season from deep, Tyler Johnson. 52% overall from the field. Illy surveys his options here. 10 on the shot clock for Golding now. Working against Sobey. Created some room for the shot. Couldn't finish it though. Johnson snatches the board. Now Sobey looks to go back at Golding at the other end. He too is off the mark. 5 of 15 are combined from deep.
Sorry, go again.
And the shot clock just a second inside the game clock here as we head toward quarter time. Melbourne scored the first 4 of the game and have led exclusively. And how about the hops upstairs there from Tucker?
Oh, he's completely missed it. How's the pass from Shayla? I know he's an athlete. Let's just thrown that up there.
So a chance for Johnson here. Last play of the opening quarter from long range is off the mark. But the first quarter concludes here with Melbourne holding a 5-point lead at quarter time. Melbourne 28, Brisbane 23. More from John Cain Arena in just a moment. their 6th first quarter of the season in their 16th game. 9th on the ladder, 5-10 record. Just looking to get things back going their way against Brisbane. Being competitive, down by as many as 11. They finished the quarter down by 5, and with a possession arrow to edge a little closer here. Baines under pressure has lost it. Shea Hilly's had it again.
It's the Shea Hilly factor. Just makes those little plays. And there's Chris Golding. Loves to trail into a 3-ball. We didn't see that all season long. So often, it took Ray John Tucker and the teammates a little bit to understand when the break goes on. If Chris Golding is running behind, that's what he likes to do, because he likes the defense to fall asleep and try and get back before realizing that he's slowly trailing into a 3-ball.
2 of 5 from long range in the game so far. Chris Golding. This time Mitchell is off the mark. Shea Hilly hands over to Golding once more. Aquera puts it on the deck, wants help. Finds Tucker. Shot clock to single digits here. Tucker isolated against Mitchell. Goes out beyond the 3-point line and knocks down another 3.
And that's a good hit because there were no lanes open due to his inconsistencies from shooting the 3. But he knocks that one down.
Back-to-back 3s. Melbourne, and Tucker with his foot on the accelerator here, confronted by Kadee.
It's going to be called on Aaron Baines.
That's it.
Go 12, push 2.
Amy replay. Shea Hilly, just look at what he brings to this team, and look at everybody just pushing the lane in transition. All the Brisbane Bullets get back inside the 3-point line. Chris Golding walks into a trademark 3.
Thank you.
Where is that? That was good defense from Jason Kadee, and Baines just cleaned him up.
So Tucker to the free throw line.
He's up to 8 points in this one. That's when he's at his best, in the open court.
That's why you give him the ultimate license. In the half court, I think they've had their inconsistencies trying to figure out where he can do that, but no doubt about it. Broken play, long rebound.
Let him go.
Take the leash off and let him go.
Game high 13-point lead here for Melbourne. Worrying signs for Brisbane, coming off a 15-point loss to Tassie. 37-point loss in New Zealand as well. Just 2 weeks ago in McKinnon's first game as coach, and this time Harvey has it deflected off his leg and out of court.
Well, United doing a really good job on the defensive end starting this quarter.
Chance to expand the margin here. 8 unanswered points to start this second quarter. As Melbourne in the driving seat. Golding guarded by Sobey, forced into a tough shot. Now Mitchell off and running. Johnson in support. Mitchell decides to go solo and high off the window, opens his scoring account.
That is a nice take.
That's where they've looked at their best in this game. There you go. Broken play. Ray John Tucker just putting his head down. But Brisbane Bullets, when they play fast and get out in transition, that's where they've looked good. When they have to slow down and really try and execute, they just seem to be
Not good.
on a different page.
But the thing is, they got to get stops on the defensive end.
Exactly
to
right.
run out in transition. And when you're giving this talented young fella, Tucker, the opportunity to start penetrating your defense, you're in trouble.
Brisbane have had turnover problems all season. They average 16 a game, which is the most in the league. They've got 8 already here. We played less than 3 minutes of the second quarter, so that's not an equation that's going to be appealing to their fans as newly exploring. Couldn't finish. Johnson, quick outlet for Bark. Mitchell in support. Kadee joining in. Likes the rhythm, and that's why as he knocks down the 3.
And you just said it, Hooley. They look good in transition, but they have to get the stops. So it starts on the defensive end, but that's a good hit.
Historically speaking, Jason Kadee always looks good in John Cain Arena. He loves playing in John Cain Arena.
Happy hunting ground. Tom Mays exploring pocket pass for Lee, and he is fouled. Enjoyed Marcus Lee, what he's brought to the table here. 3 from the field, 6 points. And is that the great man, Felix Font?
Just chilling with all his mates.
Felix like, listen, man, I'm just here to just talk to Dean every chance I get.
Here we go. Yeah. Out there.
Pretty sure everyone that he was sitting with is just sitting down as well. So, well timed then, cameraman.
Marcus Lee, 57% from the free throw line in his 4 games, 8 of 14.
One.
This has been a good start to the game by Melbourne United, and given we're playing top 6 this year, the season isn't over yet, particularly if they can string some wins together. Tame's off the mark. Back grabs the rebound and feeds Kadee. Again, a heads-up play from Jason Kadee. Tame's has to sag off there. He's out of position. He doesn't want to keep going because Kadee is going to keep going and draw a foul.
You're right, Case, because we heard from last week in a pre-game interview, Melbourne United, where they know you don't have to go after top 4. You just got to go after 6th spot. Now, if you're playing your best basketball, as Jason Kadee, I think that was a pass that ended up going down. If you're playing your best basketball come finals time, who knows what could happen? And we haven't seen a whole lot of it. NBL23. That's the same as the Wildcats who started to turn things around a little bit.
It's going to be a tall order.
Oh, no doubt.
You got Adelaide at 6. You got Perth at 7. Who's at 8?
Bullets. No, you spot on, but
even a whole lot. I mean, it's interesting. It makes it for interesting basketball down the stretch.
I'm that excited for the playing series. I'm excited for the race for 2nd spot as well.
Tough finish, couldn't get it done.
We just saw the Taipans escape one. They're on the hunt for 2nd spot. I think I don't like making the big call. We can probably we can probably pencil Sydney in for the top spot.
Sydney top 2 with that win that they got down there in New Zealand.
I would put them in and let them have that. So there's one other spot where you can avoid the playing game.
Go.
Phoenix.
Yeah, they're starting to roll.
Tassie. That's going to be very interesting.
Very.
There's a chance for Johnson. Bounces into Aquera. Nothing on offer initially. Now looking to draw a foul. Couldn't get a whistle. Shea Ili will bring Melbourne back up the floor. He's so controlled and looking to create here. Takes on Mitchell. Lob pass wanted Lee. Casually helps himself to 2 more. He's got 11 points on 5 of 5 from the field.
I'm not surprised there's a timeout. Everyone just stood still. They're so flat right now. These patches of flatness from the Bullets would be so disappointing from Sam McKinnon. When they're out and running, everything's going well, but on the breakdowns, you just see the body language. Not sure what is going on.
High tempo affair here from Melbourne United. 43 points. We've still got 5.5 minutes left until half-time. So their highest score of the year, 110, could be in some danger here. Let's go courtside to Jenny Screen with a special guest.
A very special guest indeed, Case. The owner of the NBL who notched up 1,000 games as the owner. Congratulations first and foremost, Larry. When you took over this league many years ago, did you think it would be where it is today?
I can't believe it's 1,000 games. 7.5 years, and couldn't be more proud. I think where we've got to is just incredible, so very, very happy.
You should be. Is there a certain moment or an aspect that you've put into the NBL that you're proud of the most?
I think starting to bring back our best players out of the NBA with Andrew Bogut coming back, watching the players here, just Andrew Baines, Dellavedova. I think that's something special, giving them a place once they've been at the top to continue what they do in front of family and friends is very special.
And in terms of obviously Paddy Mills and Joe Ingles are over there as well, is there a cry out to them to potentially come home one day and play in your league, the NBL?
I think we want all of our players, both Australian and international, to go play at the top level for as long as they can, and we're ready to welcome them home anytime they're ready.
What's next for the NBL?
We keep growing, we keep growing. We're growing our fans, like the crowd's amazing, the product is out of sight, so couldn't be happier, we keep growing.
And we couldn't do that with the services of you, Larry. Congratulations again on notching up 1,000 games. Back to you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jenny. Thanks, Larry. In many ways, surprised we didn't have a banner for Larry Kesselman to run through.
Something.
I mean, surely 1,000 games. That's some miles. And from my point of view, Tasmania has to be.
That was the source from Rattan Mays. And now Corey, I spoke about big call. You sat here last week as Kadee again. They look good in transition. You had already given away pass of the year.
100%.
Would that have topped it?
Two here, let's go. Line
Nope.
up. 2 shots.
Tough man.
It's a good pass.
A good pass.
Here we go. 2.
And just back to Larry Kessler, the initiatives that he has introduced. As I say, I think Tasmania, getting a new franchise up and running in Tasmania, and the way that the community there has embraced it straight away has changed sport and the community in that state in total. It's not just a basketball team.
It's, as my two older siblings used to live there, and they talk about what the community's, it's hard to look past that. Mine is probably, besides Tassie, the Next Star initiative, because we saw LaMelo Ball, we're seeing these other guys continue to come in, and it actually changed the rules for what's happening in the United States because of it. You've been big on that, Corey. You've seen what's happened.
The greatest initiative ever, outside of, obviously, Larry personally. Big hit. Wow.
This man,
Big hit.
This man, Mr. John Cain Arena.
Margin cut to 8. Was it 13 earlier in this quarter? They need to stay with it. Jason Cadee up to 10 points, including 2 of 2 from deep. Ratan May, skip pass into the corner for Aquera. He's off the mark. Cadee with momentum. Decides to fire again. Thought he was fouled. Couldn't get a whistle. Looks back at referee Michael Aylen, as if to see if he'd dropped the whistle or the P had come out.
Look, when the Bullets get stops, they get an opportunity to run out, they look really good. They're struggling in their half-court offense. If they can become more consistent defensively, get those runouts, that's when they have a better chance to win this game.
His lead. Couldn't finish.
Beautiful set. The Melbourne United just ran. A lot of off-ball movement where it looked like Chris Golding was trying to get to the keyways. Nathan Sobey.
Sobey into the second row. He's cleaned up a couple of chairs there. But Sobey's okay.
Look at this, Nathan Sobey going downhill like lightning.
Can't be good to the shins.
How's the feet heat on that?
Nice.
Sobey.
Sneakers.
How's the feet heat?
I was just thinking that.
We're going to need a closer look at those.
How did he fall?
Bit of mayonnaise there.
What happened on that 3? He's standing there, you've created a contact and then thrown yourself. Okay, so I'm trying to dribble off because I've made it gone this way. I'm going this way to shoot, he's trying to take it over. You've come this way. Yeah, but so's he. He's entitled to that spot.
Michael Aylen and Jason Cadee agreeing to disagree. The Bullets just trying to keep their heads above water here. Down 7, a little over 3 minutes out from half-time. Illy finds Isaac Humphries working against Brolin, former teammates. And Isaac Humphries gets the better of it. He's got 6 on 3 of 3 shooting.
He's looked really good. Got 5 rebounds as well, but really active. Great little push shot there from Sobes. Up to 9 points now. 3 of 9 from the field.
Tucker gets it from Barlow and goes back in that direction inside the last 3 minutes of this first half. Illy fires and was fouled by Sobey, so he's going to the free throw line.
And that's what happens when you go under the ball screen of Shea Illy. You just can't do it anymore. 3 years ago, 100%, he was reluctant to shoot, did not want to shoot the 3 ball. He's just continued to work on it, and you have to respect it. He tried to go under as Dave Barlow tried to roll into him, and both players knew it straight away. Ball on the arm. Going to send him to the line for 3.
Already we're seeing the influence that Shea Illy can have, and perhaps underrated by some people not familiar with the league in terms of, as we mentioned before, the numbers may not jump off the page at you, but everything he brings to the table, and so much of it was central to what United were planning to do. To have him just play 3 games before tonight, the 15, it's been a big miss. And speaking of injuries, Beck Allen, she's had her injury problems as well after helping Australia at the World Cup in Sydney pick up the medal there.
Yeah, Shea Ellie brings everything. Defense.
The end line here.
You know, he's a veteran in the league. He's a champion.
Okay.
One of the better defenders in the league on ball. He will wear you like a cheap suit, a la Damian Martin, that type. Can hit the three, knows the league, understands the league, understands the tempo, when to play, who to give the ball to. Such a big piece of what this team does.
9-year career, approaching 200 games. And there's some great D against Jason Kadee on cue. So Tucker drops it off. Humphries outside. Barlow. And now Shea drawing Sobey out of the paint and drawing a foul on Sobey. That's going to be his second personal. 14th foul on Brisbane in this quarter.
Bulls have done well to not let it blow out too much, but it continues to just get to double figures every couple of minutes.
Sam McKinnon with plenty on his plate at the moment. Timeout called by United. 2:16 on the clock. They led it by 10. They're out by as many as 11 in the opening quarter. Had it up to 13 here as they reeled off the first 8 of this second quarter. And right now, there's a big challenge for the Brisbane Bullets as they try and get themselves back into the equation here. We've got another great competition to talk about, the Reebok competition, giving you the chance to win a trip of a lifetime to the US for you and a mate to meet Shaquille O'Neal. Flights, accommodation, spending money, the whole box and dice. Enter now. Let's get to it. What a great competition. Meet Shaq. Had a lot of friends here in Australia when he was out here recently. Danny Minogue, a regular at Melbourne United games.
What a tent set up out the back. He's at every game. Just rolls on out. It's great to see. How's that? We've got Eddie Betts, one of the best footballers we've seen, exciting footballers we've seen. Danny Minogue, right there, Beck Allen, superstar, and then Felix von Hoff. So it drops off, but we can only do the best we can do.
You really are salty about being replaced on the crossover.
Well, it didn't. I think the whole show was replaced. And there is Jordan Lewis, and I'll tell you what, speaking of incredible things, his wine, his red wine is delightful. John Ingles gave me a nice case of that a few years ago, and it's. I know you like your red. Look into it.
Okay, where you are.
Will do.
So a little over 2 minutes out from half-time. Melbourne restart, leading by 10. Still coming to terms with the Cairns Taipans double overtime win over Illawarra early tonight by a single point. And Barlow travelled.
Great defence.
Ray of game warning.
It's about to be. Yep, there you hear it. But what a great defensive set from the Bullets. We haven't seen that all half. The rotations, being a step ahead. It's exactly what they have to continue to do. Jason Kadee is the catalyst. Nathan Sobey helped out.
I'm sure they don't want that, but they just want us to make the call the same end. I hear.
So we wind inside the last 2 minutes of the first half. Brisbane, important 2 minutes for them. Double figures. An offensive foul going to be called here on Aaron Baines. That's going to be his third personal.
So there you go. You can hear referee. That's well out of your cylinder. That's his third foul. Second offensive screen he's been called for. So have another look at it here. Barlow guarding him and sending it on Ray John Tucker once again. One thing you think of there is that left arm not by his side, but that one. First one, 100%. That one.
Let that go.
Probably gonna let that one go.
Tucker for Humphries. Now Golding. Shadowed by Sobey. They feed Humphries down low. Spinning into the paint. Short-armed at loose ball. And last touch by Brisbane. So Melbourne will get it back here. Not a lot of time on the clock for them.
I know what that means, Case. That's...
Well, the pass intended for Humphries turned his back. Here's Golding dispossessed by Johnson. Hands over to Gack, ran into Barlow. And Barlow called for the foul. Going to be his second personal. 14th foul on Melbourne in this quarter.
He ran into a wall. What he ran into.
Here we go.
We've seen that wall numerous times. Look at Gack. He's an exciting prospect. Got the size, got the length, and good IQ. Look back too far, maybe 6 or 7 years ago. That wall in the grand final series. Case, you remember that?
Going there, eh?
Josh Childress came off second best.
That may have cost Adelaide
It did.
the championship, if
It
not
did.
for another call here or there. But anyway, you're right. I thought that probably did. And you know, the interesting thing about that was that he was just standing straight up.
It's just the core strength. I'm telling you.
Pound for pound, he could be the strongest man in the competition, or certainly at that stage was.
Takes care of his body. Oh, I thought I have better memories of those games.
Yeah, I bet.
Shea Ili.
Doing everything. That is how you come back. Great defense, slides his feet, meets him upstairs.
This is why we talk about how important he is. And you go back to the start of the season and rank the importance of this roster. Shea Ili's #1. He is United basketball. #2 in terms of being irreplaceable was Ariel Hook-Porty, because he literally is irreplaceable as a next star. And then obviously Chris Golding, you can make a case that he would be #1. Shea Ili just brings all those little intangibles.
Here's Tucker in the paint, firing over Gack, adding to his tally. Now with 13 to lead all scorers.
5 of 6 from the field.
Too easy. Again, the defensive pressure's there from a couple of players on Brisbane, but in the end, Rajon Tucker just walked in to a layup.
Shot clock to single digits. Sobey exploring. Tough shot with the left hand under pressure from Humphries. Came back to Kadee. Couldn't work it in. Gack gets the offensive rebound.
Love what he
the
brings.
finish.
Love what he brings. He's going to have a really bright future. He's only going to get better learning from Aaron Baines day in and day out in practice floor. Vanderjet as well, hanging around.
7 points, 4 boards now for Gack, including 3 O boards. A slow pass for Barlow, sold him into trouble. He was good enough to keep it alive with a 3-ball off the mark. Sobey from 3-quarter court can't get it on target. Halftime arrives here, and Melbourne United enjoy a 9-point lead. Melbourne 50, Brisbane 41.
Well, they've had moments they look like about to blow it open, probably 3 or 4 times. Brisbane did well to respond, and I mean, we've talked about it all with that first half. Anytime they get out in transition and manage to get a stop or play quick, even off a made basket, they've looked phenomenal. The Bullets, they get out, ball movement, quick open shots. And they got to settle in the half court, not so much.
Let's get some reaction courtside with Jenny Screen.
Guys, I'm here with Rajon Tucker. Huge performance from you in that first half, but it looked like you guys were locked in defensively from the start.
Yeah, we're just out here playing desperate, looking for a win on a losing streak and trying to get it done, and it starts here. So.
You're getting it done with 13 points, but another one of your teammates, Shea Ili, is leading from the front. How is he so instrumental in what you guys do?
He pushes the break. He locks in on defense. He just gives us a different look where we can rotate guys and put fresh bodies on guys. So we love to have him back.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Rajon Tucker leading all scorers at the moment with 13 there with Jenny Screen. It's Melbourne on top by 9. Stay with us here on the Hungry Jacks NBL on Saturday night. Sounds good, thank you.
I was kind of an average-sized kid, maybe a little above average. I was really gifted with instruments. I could pick up an instrument very quickly by ear as a kid. I was a singer and a performer before basketball.
There's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to love.
I started doing live shows and that sort of thing, and then basketball came along and it just took over my life. I thought it wasn't, as cool to be a musician, and it didn't really go hand in hand. But then I just thought, I love both, and I'm actually really good at both, and I don't want to just waste it. So I started getting back into it and teaching myself more instruments, and then it became like a real thing.
I've been putting this show together for a really long time, and I'm so excited to be here tonight.
I've headlined my own shows, I've given back to charity.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I've worked with some incredible Grammy-winning producers. I have mentors in the music industry that are humongous. My music life, it's unbelievable, it really is.
Tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world?
Forever I've wanted that balance of music and basketball. And now I've really got it.
Isaac Humphries is just a super talent. I was
Beautiful.
lucky enough to spend time with him when he was with the 36ers, and you won't meet a nicer guy off the floor either. What he does giving back to the community, he's new to Adelaide, but he was straight in there. Where can I help? I want to put on a concert. I want to raise money. Everyone who asked him to do something, he was more than happy to do it. I can't speak highly enough of him.
Well, I did that interview and I asked him, because all of his concerts are for charity. And I said, so you don't take a single cent? And he said, why would I? He said, I love to perform, I love to sing. So he said, that's my payment. And he said he never will, never take anything for himself. And you hear his voice, it's incredible. And sung at one of his best friend's wedding, another Kentucky player. If you've never seen that, jump online. And you're right, terrific human being. And geez, I think there's not too many multi-talented people to do it as well at both things.
Play in the NBA with talent like that, musically as well. And look, coming back from his injuries as well, there were times where he wasn't sure if he was going to play again, because no matter what he did, he couldn't get his injuries right. So to persevere with that, and also the mental demons that he would have put himself through and would have had to suffer as well, when people are, there were doubters there, and he's answered the critics.
There's a lot more to that chat, and he talks about exactly that, going through those injuries, and we know what happened with him recently, and I think he's putting together an album that in his words, is incredibly dark about the times that he went through, but in the end, he says it needs to be out there because it needs to help other people, and it's helped him, music's helped him and helped in his life, so can't wait to hear it.
6 points in the game so far, having an impact coming back from missing games through COVID as well. Humphries 3 of 4 from the field, 6 boards to go with those points. And we take a look at the Hungry Jacks half-time highlights. And as I mentioned earlier, this has been impressive from Melbourne to be able to play as well as they have, given they bring in a new point guard and a new centre, coming back from injury. Corey, I think hats off to them.
Ray John Tucker said it best in his halftime interview. We're playing desperate. We're trying to break the slump, and we're trying to get a win. And they look really good so far in this first half. They're playing really good defense. They're hitting shots from the perimeter. Things are opening up, and this guy, when he's able to penetrate and slice through the defense, things have become easier for him and Melbourne United. Shea Ellie's back in the lineup, and he is doing it. He's all over the court. 8 points, 3 assists, 2 steals, 1 rebound. Combined, Tuck and lead 10 of 13 from the field, 24 points. They're playing really good basketball, and it's good to see.
Yeah, it's been a really impressive performance. At times, it looked like they were about to push this out to about 20, so credit the Bullets for fighting back. And again, it looks like a different outfit, doesn't it? I mean, Rattan May's first scoreless half of the year, but we talk about how well Melbourne's clicking. He's got 4 assists, so he's making plenty of things happen. It just looks like a different lineup what we're seeing.
And we're seeing Aaron Baines with 3 fouls, so that's a problem for Brisbane. And the turnover count, they've got 10 turnovers to half-time, way too many for Brisbane. They've got their hands full at the moment. They're down by 9 points. But Chris Golding's been building into this game. Let's see if he can build things off the game, off the court as well, thanks to Bunnings.
Go, Daddy.
Welcome to NBL Weekenders, a series where your favourite hoopers will jump off the court and onto the tools with help of the team at Bunnings.
I want the biggest. I'm going to take 2. That gives me a better chance of success.
The most common one is your Murbury decking.
I reckon this is me. Thanks for your help, Brad. I really appreciate it, mate. Everyone says measure twice, cut once. I'm more of a measure once, cut it, and deal with it later type guy.
I said 540, mate.
Yeah, I know, but...
What, do we have to take out the concrete or something?
Can't wait to put the finishing touches on it, have it ready for some of that beautiful Melbourne summer weather.
Great to have your company here on a Saturday night in the Hungry Jacks NBL this season. With thanks to Latrobe Financial, we're giving away a guaranteed $50,000. As we take a look at some of the great entries so far, hit a shot from half court, get it on video, send it through to us, nbl.com.au/legends. And Corey Williams will be involved in that caper. You've been out there shooting a little yourself, Corey, as we get underway in the second half?
Yep, I haven't made any.
I hope you get to judge it.
That'll be cool.
So Melbourne with a possession arrow, whistle on the play. Offensive foul going to be called here on Marcus Lee. It's his third personal.
So he doesn't like it, and he's asking for a challenge, but it's not going to happen because it's going to bring Isaac Humphrey straight in, you would think. Team Vic going, yep, calling for a sub, didn't get it in time. So if you're the Brisbane Bullets, you'd be going straight at Marcus Lee with his 3 fouls.
The man that might do that is Aaron Baines, and he's playing with 3 fouls as well. But here's Sobey dancing around the defence, firing from deep unsuccessfully, and Lee Knights after the rebound. Illy pushing the issue against Bark. Now to Aquera down low, working on DJ Mitchell. Likes to pull the ball out. Illy, shot clock at 10. Shakes Bark, confronted by Baines, drew him out. They find Rajon Tucker with a 3-ball. It's off the mark. So Tucker just 1 of 3 from deep. The only 2 misses he's had in the game. He's 5 of 7 overall field goal shooting. And they do get Baines down low against Marcus Lee, but he wouldn't go on with it. And the shot off the mark.
Yeah, let him off the hook. He's got 3 fouls. Just try and put him in the blender. And now he sits down and has a time to recover, and you expect him to probably be back in at the end of the third, if not the start of the fourth, because he didn't get a 4th foul.
On ball.
Illy picks up the dribble. Humphreys finds Golding, working against Sobey. Good job against Golding so far. Couldn't convert from close range, and Aquera can't keep it alive. Brisbane ball.
Better defense, just trying to keep chasing Chris Golding, and that's better than they were in the first half, where after a couple of possessions of the ball moving around, everyone would just stand still. They stuck with it, forced a tough shot, and then get a chance to eat back into this margin.
Well, so far in this one, Brisbane have not done a really good job in the half court. They can find ways to execute and score in the half court. They'll have a better chance winning this game.
Golding's pass intended for Aquera, scooped up by Tucker, and now whistle on the play as well as Illy collides with Rasmus Bark.
There you got it. Blue 51. Push.
Look here, this Golding fumbles it out, Rajon Tucker, and then Aquera cleans up Tucker.
Back court. Back court, DJ.
So he had the behind the back pass that nearly went astray, and then that one there.
Thanks, brother. Thanks, mate.
Anytime there's a collision involving Shea Illy, it's hard in your mouth stuff there. One of those concussion problems that he's had.
Sure.
Kadee feeds Baines. Bark joining in, and now they go back to Kadee.
Chip. 9.
Wraparound pass for Mitchell. He's off the mark. Just 2 points in the game so far for Mitchell. Season average of 10. Like to get him involved in the offensive end a little more. Here he is at the defensive end against Isaac Humphreys and talk him out of the points.
And that's good one-on-one defense on the post versus Humphreys. Can they convert right now?
Sobey trying to flip it up. Humphreys there knocks the ball down out of court.
I like that from Dean Vickerman. You can hear him screaming to his team, saying you've got to know when to move it. If there's nothing there, then just get rid of it. Let somebody else try and make a play.
Kadee exploring down low, overcooked it, but the tip in from Aaron Baines as he comes up with another 2. First score since half time from either team took almost 3 minutes.
2. Yep. 5. Hand check. Got it.
See Shea Illy getting subbed out of this game. He's just playing small spurts, quick ones. He's got 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 8 points. He's gassed. He's giving everything every time he's out there.
Come up with chips. Sorry, mate. Here we go.
So Ratan May's back into the game. As we mentioned at halftime, his first scoreless half of the season. His first time coming off the bench.
He right now is going to have to find ways to fit in differently because the minutes distribution isn't going to be what it was with Shea Illy.
Kadee, Bark inside Humphreys. Round Tucker, nice finish for Rasmus Bark to come up with just his second field goal, and timeout called by Melbourne. It's been 4 unanswered points, so more than 3 minutes played in the third. Melbourne haven't added to their halftime tally.
Well, long rebound or off a stop, and Brisbane have looked really good. Just moving the ball quickly, getting an open look or putting their head down, making some things happen. As you mentioned, Corey, we've said it all the first half as well. Anytime in the half court, haven't had anything click over, but out in the open floor, good things are happening.
A nice start out of half time as we go courtside to Jenny Screen with another special guest.
And as we switch like we used to do on the court, I'm here with superstar of the Australian Opals, Bec Allen. Obviously, you had the World Championship here on your home soil a couple of months ago. rose gold for you guys, but let's talk about you personally. You got injured, got a pretty hard knock, fractured your rib, but not only that, you actually punctured your lung. Where are you at with your rehab, and how painful has it been for you?
I mean, pretty crazy, but at the same time, taking it day by day is the only way to do it, and it's just like treating it like another rehab, but seeing the silver lining. Hey, I'm around family, I've got a great support network, so there's positives in everything.
14-year pro, 7 years overseas now. It's almost like ignorance is bliss. Back to Valencia, is it like a second home for you?
Yeah, it's definitely becoming second home. I feel very lucky to have been there, to be playing there, and they're looking after me. So it's just nice that they're putting my health first in a moment like this. It's just been hard for me, but yeah, I'm super lucky to be playing over there.
Obviously, being home gives you the luxury of coming to see the WNBL games or NBL games. What do you make of the NBL this season and what you've seen?
I mean, it's pretty epic. You see the crowd here, and it's a whole show. And I really enjoy being a part of it. And I've been able to do a little bit of work experience with Melbourne United, so it's sort of been fun just to start putting full work into what I want to do next. So awesome organisation to see some things with, and it's been a bit of fun.
Well, let's make sure you're still on the court for many years to come instead of the work off the court. But lovely to see you back, and all the best in your rehab and the future of your career.
Thank you so much, Screeny. Thank you.
Back to you.
Two stars there, Beck Allen and Jenny Screen. And Brisbane have got another stop here. And momentum is right back with the Bullets as Kadee pulls the trigger on a triple off the mark. Now Sobey. 8 offensive rebounds now for Brisbane, 2 for Melbourne. Baines wants Kadee, shot clocked at 2. Kadee's going to have to make something happen, and that was worth waiting for.
Man, he wiped Chris Goulden out.
He's already had those 2 illegal screens being called, so you probably think of reluctant to call that other one. Have another look at it when we can.
More important, not to mention, it's a 3-point game.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I needed that from Golding. That was a 6-0 run to start the third quarter. Half the margin, but now some breathing space for Melbourne United. Golding up to 9 points in the game.
5 of 16 from 3. Melbourne United, he's hit 3 of them. Chris Golding, Jack comes in. Here's the aiming replay. Aaron Baines turns down the 3 and...
Nice. It's up here, mate. Nice.
Golding was unlucky with that second foul, second offensive foul, but that's got to be a switch. If you're late at all, Dave Barlow, Chris Golding in a ball screen, immediate switch, because either one of them, if they get open, you expect them to knock it down.
Tyler Johnson with it, picks up the dribble now. Sobey, pass tucking, confronted by Lee. Too nimble for him as well. Sobey gets it done. He's into double figures.
It's a great take, and that's the man that's going to have to step up big in this second half, especially in the half-court offense.
Couldn't finish there from close range. He's been good tonight. 5 of 8 at 63% for his 13 points. Right now, Brisbane have got some momentum. Down by as many as 13 in the second quarter. And Sobey's off to the free throw line, where he's 2 of 2 so far in the game.
This is good offense. Getting the ball in Sobey's left hand, he can turn the corner and get to the basket. He's getting an angle to actually have an opportunity to penetrate. Last 2 possessions. Gets in the body of Goulden.
That's what Sobey does well. He just turns the corner. And if you're not in front by the free throw line, it's game over. He's just too quick. He's too athletic.
He needs to come strong this second half. Had a solid first half, 9 points, but now is when the superstar needs to step up big for the remainder of this one.
Points good. Sub in.
Coming off a 20-point game against the Tasmania Jack Jumpers, his last start, and prior to that had 28 against the Perth Wildcats, a season high for him, Nathan Sobey. So 48 in his last 2 games, building here with 13. No one has more in the game. Lee gets it from Newley. 2-point ball game. Ratar May's got Mitchell in the air.
Made the mistake of throwing it out. Did all the right work. Another breakdown on the defensive end. Ratar May's copped the bump. He's just got to launch that at the rim, even if he's behind the backboard. Just tell the referee that you're shooting it. Go to the free throw line. Although his free throw line shooting has been a struggle in NBL23. He's lights out from 3. Just struggles at the line.
Going good.
So get Lee involved, and foul going to be called on Gack there. It's a good foul.
Got one.
I'm going to tell you what I like, JC and Pete Hooley. With
Okay,
XRM
here we go. 2 shots.
coming off the bench, and as you said, he pretty much leads in all statistical categories, right? He's been so poised and been team first in this role. That is extremely impressive because when you're usually the guy scoring all the points and making plays happen, you would intend to want to do that. And it could look bad.
Well,
he's playing the game the right way.
Well, he is, and to be honest, it's a bit of a surprise to me because when he was brought in, he was brought in on the back of dropping 30 on Melbourne United last year on this floor when he played for the Hawks, and that's what they wanted. They wanted to really get their bench unit to have some sort of scoring weapon, exactly like what Barry Brown Jr.'s done for the Breakers, and that's all they expected from him. So you're right, it's actually surprised that he's come in and really just trying to dish the rock. He's got 5 assists, yet to hit the scoreboard as Tyler Johnson. He's another one who can light it up.
Half-court offense is starting to heat up.
Well, they're starting to come to play in this third quarter.
And in the first half, what they weren't doing was, not only weren't they executing the half court, but there was a lot of lapses.
On the rebound.
They now have put together consecutive stops and playing solid at both ends. This is a danger period right now for Melbourne United, JC.
Second foul on Jason Kadee. 4th team foul on Brisbane in this quarter with still more than 4 minutes to play. And last year, Rattan Mays, runner-up in the best 6th man behind Shea Illy. But good point that you make, because he's led this team in scoring in 7 games out of the 15 they played, including the 33 he had against New Zealand in round 1, which remains the highest score by an individual in the competition this season, equalled by Doyle. Last week, Milton Doyle for Tassie against Brisbane. No one's had more.
Right here.
And that's going to send Melbourne to the free throw line now. Over the limit, Brisbane.
Tyler Johnson's last 3 has been downgraded to a 2. Foot on the line. So replay center all over that one.
Bonus 2. Both lights, right?
So Marcus Lee. Really been a good addition for Melbourne United. And if they can keep this group healthy, I think Melbourne can make the top 6.
Well, this is what they wanted. Everybody's back and playing. They're healthy once again.
Crucial stretch for them as well.
They also need to rely on a few teams above them to stumble. So Perth look like they've turned things around a bit. Tassie, you expect to continue to fight and fight. So who's going to fall out?
I don't know if Adelaide are
Your Adelaide team?
Oh, stop it.
Take it the way they're playing. I saw them up close last night. They've got some work to do as well. Kadee blocked by Golding. How about the defensive play from Golding? Get it back so he wants to get the ball up quickly. Difficult pass to handle. Finds Lee working on Gak. Busted play. Rattan Mays overdue. Gets his first score in the game.
Great take. Right down the lane. Aggressive. Good finish. Chris Golden with the block. Stops Kadee. Keeps the ball in bounds. Go to the other end. Great ball movement. Opens up a lane for XRM to penetrate.
So he does well.
Nice finish.
3rd block of the season for Chris Golding. 3rd block. 3rd block of the season.
And the other 2 were.
JC, I gotta ask you something.
Oh no.
What happened that money play, man? Bryce Cotton.
He's
put
good. He's
Adelaide
good,
to bed. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Can play a bit.
That was nasty.
I'll get Melbourne.
He was outstanding last night. He was really impressive.
Yeah, I know it sounds like a broken record, but Little Birdie's told me that citizenship is around the corner. And we keep hearing it, but someone reached out to me to say it. So I'll just get the Wildcats' hopes up once again.
Teasing them. Well, this season, with thanks to MG, we are giving away a brand new MG ZS EV electric car valued at $44,990. If you want it, you can hit it now at nbl.com.au/winmg. Very stylish set of wheels, and electric is the future, if not the now.
That is a very good looking car.
Yeah, very appealing to the optic nerve. Around it, you see them on the road, and you turn your head just to get another look. Great car, and we're giving it away. Giving it away. crazy not to enter that. NBL.com.au/WinMG. Get involved. Brisbane have coughed it up. Newley waiting for the support. Golding says, I'm here. I'm here. Golding, another three. Fourth of the night.
That hurts after a timeout. Sam McKinnon's not happy. He just had a careless turnover. And then Chris Golding walks into a 3-ball. Tyler Johnson up to 7 points now. I think he has to be a little more aggressive. Nathan Sobey, yes, we know what he has to continue to do. But they need that spark as well off the bench. Tyler Johnson needs to be that man.
Ratan Mays accelerating. And now foul is going to be called on Golding as Gap goes down. Third personal on Golding.
So here's that turnover from Sobey. Marcus Lee read that.
This is what you always say, Peter Hooley.
He loves the trail. It's the one time the defense falls asleep.
Ooh. But he's late. No time in this. Okay. Well, I didn't see you get pushed to the back. Oh, I think we're good, boys. Thank you very much.
Just not saying he got pushed to the back. Gasco's down. It's good to see him back up.
Golding now with 51 three-pointers this season at 40%. It's been impressive. But I have to say, talking to John Rillie last night, knowing that I was speaking to him pre-game, I did a little bit of homework on him. And John Rillie, as Bark fires up the three, can't connect. In one season, John Rillie hit 115 threes at 47%. He was unbelievable.
One of the best.
That's not bad either. Ray John Tucker now with 15 in the game to lead all scorers. And after Brisbane had closed to within 2, they find themselves now down 8 in quick fashion. Melbourne steadied the ship. Mitchell puts it on the deck against Barlow. Johnson gets a good look, and he comes to the party as well. He's into double figures.
And that's a very important three-point hit by Johnson. Peter Hooley, you just said he needs to come to the party. He scored the last couple of baskets for him. That's way too easy.
XRM is starting to find his offensive stroke.
4 points, 5 assists now for Ratan Mays. This man is getting it going. Off the mark this time, Golding grabs the rebound. Inside the last 2 minutes of the third. 7-point game for Melbourne, who have led exclusively. One stage by as many as 13 in the second. Ratan Mays showing them some tricks. Yak in the air. Helps it outside. Humphries is short. Johnson beats Mitchell. And now Sobey. He fires the three. Rimmed out.
Dodged that one. Oh, Mays might have been held on that rebound attempt. Oh. That's a nutmeg. The last couple of minutes been awfully scrappy.
Shot clock to single digits here for Ratan Mays. As he works to the elbow. Didn't get enough on the shot. Mitchell grabs the rebound. Number 6 for him in that category. Leads Brisbane in rebounding. And Sobey this time got himself set and does knock down the three.
Made the adjustment, missed one the very play before, walked into that one. Instead of taking Isaac Humphries off the dribble, just walked into a 3-ball.
Thanks, mate.
16 in the game for Sobey. He leads all scorers now. So look for Ray John Tucker. Touch pass for Barlow outside, and he knocks down the triple. Fourth Melbourne player to knock down a 3 in the game.
And that's exactly why those lanes are starting to open up, because the defense has to extend.
Foul on Ratan Mays. Free throws to come now. Over the limit, Melbourne.
Happy with that. Mays going to send Nathan Sobey to the line.
Come in, Jack. Bonus. Player warning. We go. Let's line it up.
Player warning too for Ratan Mays. But I mentioned this is an important stretch for Melbourne because they're in the middle here of playing 6 games in 16 days. After tonight, they head to Perth on Monday night. And another throwdown against the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix on Thursday. And they'll finish it, that stretch against the Hawks on Sunday next week. So chance for them to grab up some momentum, put some wins together if they can, because this is really unfamiliar territory for Melbourne United. Made the semi-finals the last 5 years, won 2 championships. They've never lost 6 games in a row in a season. They did lose the last 4 of 2016 and the first 2 of 2017 for a 6-game losing streak, but never in the same season. And right now, they've got some work to do. They lead by 5. In fact, they're going to lead now by 8 as Ely on the shot clock comes up with a 3.
Ely, once again, he's been everywhere in his return game. Big 3 going into the 4th quarter.
Three-quarter time arrives here, and the Brisbane Bullets have got their hands full because Melbourne United with an 8-point advantage. It's 71-63, final quarter to come. Stay with us here on the Hungry Jacks NBL as Melbourne look to snap a 5-game losing streak. It's been 34 days since Melbourne United got their last win, but right now Chris Golding is doing his best to make sure they snap this drought. He's up to 12 points in the game on 4 of 7 shooting from long range. And it's an 8-point buffer for Melbourne United. Brisbane with a possession arrow as we get underway here in the 4th quarter.
Brisbane looked good in that 3rd quarter. Tyler Johnson came to the party. Now Sobey hit some big shots.
Baines firing the 3. That's off the mark. And he's 1 of 6 from long range now, Aaron Baines, playing with 3 fouls.
Getting a bit wide again.
Just 7 points in the game, and 5 of those came in the opening quarter. Just coming back from his own injury issues as well, Aaron Baines. Here's Golding. A pocket pass looking for Humphries. It was battered down, deflected away, and Sobey leads the charge. Gack running hard up the floor. Bounces into David Barlow, who's called for the foul. It's going to be his 3rd personal.
It's a good pass. First of all, that's good defense as a team. They shrunk the paint. Got a deflection. Sobey gets it in the open court, passes it ahead, and Gack goes to the line for 2.
You're right. He really did shrink the floor on Chris Golding. And again, when they get off to the break, Gack's ability to run the floor like that, it's a different presence to what Tyrell Harrison brings. I think he's fantastic rim protector and a really good dump-off player. I think that's where he's at his best. But Gack's got that athleticism to really get out and run the lane. Right down to the dunker spot.
They closed to within 2 points during the third quarter, and they opened scoring here in the fourth as well, Brisbane. As Tucker takes them on, zigzagging his way up the floor, and what a finish as well. That's highly skilled work there from Ray John Tucker, now with 17 in the game.
Showing his emotion. One-on-one, they are not able to handle him. As you can see, in and out cross, up and under, and one. And he's talking that talk, too. Fans love it.
I'm really impressed with Ray John Tucker, particularly the last stretch of games. 4 of his last 5 in the 20s. And now with 18 in this game on 7 of 10 from the field.
Super efficient. Almost 3 from outside. Missed a free throw. It's been great.
Johnson with it now. By Goldie, gets it back from Gack. Pocket pass to Gack in the paint. Couldn't convert. Barlow puts a stop to it. Shea Ili bounces off Kadee. Beats Tucker for the finish. He's up to 20 once more. Fifth time in 6 games for Ray John Tucker. And it's a double-figure lead for Melbourne, and Brisbane need timeout.
The impact of Shea Ili cannot go unnoticed.
76-65, 8:48 to play.
We sound like a broken record, but talking about it. But he does all those little things, just pushes the break. He just makes the right decision every single time. He's never flustered, just does the right thing that the team needs at a certain point in time. And completely invaluable. Certain guys are invaluable to their team, not many. A lot of guys are replaceable one way or another, whether it's one player or 2 players to try and replace and fill a void. He is literally irreplaceable.
Just makes everybody's life easier. Finds you in your sweet spot. He's coming in, bringing that effort on the defensive end, running the offense. He's been missed, that's for sure.
Ray John Tucker turning it on here in the final quarter, has scored all 5 points for Melbourne, but it's been created by this man Shea Ili.
Just makes the right decision every single time.
Makes everyone around him better. He just distorts the opposition's defense as well, creates openings.
There's nothing he can't do on the court. And as you said a couple of years ago, couldn't consistently hit the 3. Now he can hit the 3. It just opens up everything else in his game. He's a willing passer and a good penetrating guard. Great to see him back on the court.
Sobey in the corner, not done with just yet. He's up to 21 to take over as the game high scorer.
Big hit by Sobey in that corner. They needed that.
Third consecutive game for Sobey in the 20s as well, averaging 14 a game. He's just getting the better the longer the season goes. Here's Golding. He knocks down the 2, so he's got 14.
That's what happens when you've got Ray John Tucker's ability to turn the corner. They go to those handoffs around the perimeter, and in the end, he hands it off to Chris Golding and uses himself as a screener and gets him a nice, easy 2.
Poor pass from Baines, picked off by Humphries and Ili. It's Melbourne up the floor once more. Double-figure lead for them. A nice give and go. How about the teamwork there between the 2 players? Back into the team for the first time.
Oh, man, they look completely different, fully loaded. Very impressive play in this fourth quarter. Lead opens up to 12.
Again, it's no surprise with big inclusion, but everyone just seems to play with a different level of calm. And
hold on.
No calm about this guy. Once he starts to light it up.
This is what we want to see, Hooley.
He's single-handedly keeping Brisbane around right now.
4 of 8 from deep. Sobey has 24 to lead all scorers. Golding answer with a triple, and Gack snatches the rebound. So they've had the lead into double figures in the first, second, and now fourth quarters, Melbourne. But Brisbane are still hanging around. Gack puts Tucker down. Now tried to find Baines in the paint. That didn't work, so he scores himself. He's now into double figures with 11.
Got a bit lucky there. Brisbane, they tried their hardest not to get that.
As Ely's forcing his way into the hoop and coming up with the two.
Right there, Baines just let him score right over him. You got to put a hand up and contest that one. Melbourne will take it, though.
Kadee bounces off Barlow. Baines down low. Uses Gack instead. Johnson, baseline, tough for the left-hander. Tipped in by Gack, who's getting it done. He's got 13 points now after having 14 against Tasmania. Back-to-back games here.
Great activity from Gack. Here's Sobey sitting in the corner. Feet set, rage on Tucker. You don't help off strong side corner. That's why. He just hit that one, so he felt good enough to take this one.
I'd just rather be safe than sorry. Thanks,
Let's get courtside to Jenny Screen.
Guys, I know we talk about Shea Ely a lot and what he does for his team, but for me, it's his calmness. And when your calmness comes through and your point guard, it filters through the rest of your team. And right now, I feel like every Melbourne United player is calm, including their head coach, Dean Vickerman. He's got this nice calmness about him that we don't normally see from the sideline. He's a bit of a pit bull, if you will, as you see Golding knocked down a three. But I tell you who's not calm, and that's the crowd. The Melbourne United fans here tonight are electric. It may not be a packed-out house, and you may not know the effect that they're having, but they are loud and very loud and patriotic tonight, gentlemen.
There's Johnson, unsuccessfully. Thanks, Jenny. Marching back to double figures. And everything Brisbane throw at Melbourne, they've got an answer. Newley in traffic, almost lost it, stayed with it. Lee, shot clock to 7 now. Tan May's a long way from home. Into a double team. Tough all the way. Tan Mays.
That's what he can do.
Yeah, those are shots he can hit.
Again, they answer. Johnson exploring against Newley. Pulls up for the jumper. Helps himself to 2 more. He's got 12 points.
Just hanging around. The Bullets. I want to say that's what he can do with Tan Mays. It's that mid-range, and when he can just stop on a dime and fade away or back to the basket.
Brisbane desperate for some stops though in this lead. A nice look inside from Ratan Mays. That's to his tally. 16 on 6 of 8 shooting.
See, right now with Sobey out, there's nobody you can put on XRM to stop him.
Oh, hello.
Nice hit.
Mr. John Cain Arena, keeping him around.
Yep. Thank you.
Jason Kadee, 14 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Just continues to get it done. 31-year-old.
That's beautiful. So run with a nice alley-oop, put pressure on the defense, throw it up to the big fella, easy finish. Jason Kadee with his foot on the line a little bit.
Got a couple of those now. Bullets.
They need to stop Brisbane. They need to work themselves back into the equation on the scoreboard. Aquera, a quick release too, and he knocks down the shot. So his first score for Aquera since the opening quarter.
Brisbane need to get some stops. They want to get back into this game. Offensively, they're starting to tick things over.
Here's Johnson, got rid of Ratan Mays. Can't convert from deep though. 16 points, 6 boards from Marcus Lee. Aquera gets it from Ratan Mays, uses Newley. They got the mismatch down low. Lee shares it. They spring open the danger man. Golding.
Time out. Time out. Melbourne United. Oh yeah, now you see the emotion by CG43. Understanding the moment and cashing in. Great ball movement. See the double comes, skips it over, extra pass from XRM to the hot shooter. And that is his 6
of 10.
3 on the evening. 6 of 10. 20 points.
Golding's been excellent. He and DJ Hogue are the only 2 players in the competition this year to hit 7 threes in a game. That's in some danger here, the way he's shooting at the moment. 6 of 10 here. Golding was 7 of 12 against the Phoenix in round 6. And also knocked down 6 of 11 against New Zealand in the opening round as well. More threes than any other player in the competition.
At an incredible rate for how many he gets up. Just not down his 1,003 last game. He's already hit 6 here.
Game high 15-point lead here for Melbourne with 3:44 on the clock. A reminder, with Hungry Jack's NBL, you can whopper your way to LA. Grab any large burger meal at Hungry Jack's and enter your receipt code to win flights, accommodation, spending money, and 4 tickets to a game in the USA. Whopper your way to LA. Get involved. hungryjacks.com.au/Whopper LA.
That's where Cam Luke has just been. He's just been there to LA. Went to watch USC play. Around everywhere. He might have actually paid for those tickets, I think.
Time is now for Brisbane. Mitchell reaching in Newley, thought he got it clean and bordering on technical as well.
Back to the spot. Play 4. Hit.
Third foul on Newley.
That's good aggressive defense.
Back section.
See why he was disappointed.
Let it get it.
Gack, oh, nice move inside Lee over Aquera, another 2. What a play that is!
Oh, he got game.
Yep,
he got game.
He's got an exciting future. 15 and 6, which is so active.
Coming off a 14-point game, so a new career high for him. 7 of 9 from the field in the game against Tasmania in 19 minutes. And look at this.
Look at this from the big man.
Splits the defense.
Oh, that was so nice. Mason Peeling enjoyed that on the bench.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Great take.
12 of 16 from the field with 29 points in his last 2 games. Good job, Gack.
It's a great wall up from Marcus Lee.
I didn't see you get hit in the head, right?
Marcus Lee is certainly having an impression. Just his 5th game of the season. 10 and 6 in the last game against Illawarra before fouling out. 16 and 6 in this game.
Oh yeah, he's been impressive since putting that uniform on.
It just keeps happening here for Melbourne United as the margin balloons out once more to 15.
SRM 4 of 7 from the field, 8 points to go along with 7 assists.
Sobey sat a long time there and it got away from them. He can't connect. There's Tom Mays sharing it with Newley. Gets a good look. Newley knocks down the 3, his first of the game, and Melbourne threatening to crack the century.
Yeah, they've been threatening all game to break this open, and it's only taken to the last quarter to do so.
The other end, Mitchell. It's been his night, just 1 of 4 from the field, none of 2 from deep, just 2 points. Season average of 10, started tonight. XRM, Lee swinging off the rim. On showtime here in Melbourne as they crack the 100 barrier and lead by 20.
XRM and Shaylee have led their team beautifully all game. Coming off the bench, 8 points, 9 assists. Filled in his role beautifully in this one.
They've worked so well together. They were on the floor for just a couple of minutes that we highlighted together, and it didn't look bad at all. And besides that, they've just really done well, taking in turns in that point guard role.
Close range mark adds to his tally.
See Callum Dalton checking into the game, back from an ACL injury, which is great to see. Zach Triplett in as well.
It's a pair.
Oh, join the party.
3 ball wouldn't fall there from McWatch Malawatch. They've scored 30 points here in this quarter, Melbourne. They have looked very impressive tonight as they get some key pieces back. That's a nice feed from Gack as well. Found a passing lane where there didn't appear to be one.
It's been real impressive in this one. Back-to-back games.
Yep. So inside the last 60 seconds, Melbourne's highest score of the season of 110 against the Phoenix. So it's safe for the moment as Triplett fires unsuccessfully. The line, Ratar Mays kicks it, Dalton outside. He comes up with the goods.
Oh, you love to see it. What a...
Look at that smile. Look at that smile for Dalton. Assist number 10.
Whole team would love that, as you mentioned. His ACL in training, came back on. Ex-Brisbane Bullet. That'd feel great.
Best points of the season for him. Whistle on the play. Foul's called on Zach Triplett. Third team foul on Melbourne.
It's just been a different aura around Melbourne United tonight. There's obviously not just one man, the inclusion of Shea Ili, but this is the first time they've had a full roster. So everybody slots in to the lineup, into the spot where they've needed to be, where they were recruited to be.
Like them, I think they can still make the six. As Ron Sappel gets some minutes here as well. Recently added to the Bullets lineup, drew a replacement. Colin fires from deep with a shot clock in the background to knock down the triple.
Shot clock went off a bit earlier, but in the end, a big win for Melbourne United on their home floor.
Well, the fans get to their feet. They've enjoyed it. A 5-game losing streak is over, and Melbourne, for the first time in 34 days, are winners in the NBL. Full time, it's Melbourne 104, Brisbane 88. They win by 16.
Hardest thing to do is crack a 5-game streak. That pressure begins to mount. And for them to do this in front of their home stand, in front of their home crowd, in the manner that they got the win, something to really feel good about.
And they needed to continue to build. As you mentioned, they go on the road a lot in January, so every home game they have from here on out is full roster. Marcus Lee, Isaac Humphries, that tandem, Shea Ili, XRM, that tandem, and then let Chris Golding and Rajon Tucker continue to ball out the way they do it. And who knows what they could start to string together. It's one game at a time. And yes, they played the Bullets, who showed flashes, but ultimately not enough. They'll take it.
10 scorers for Melbourne United, 104 points.
Hey, that's what we're asking for. Wide open number 3. Gives it up to a guy that's been out for 9 fucking months. Great job.
Good the team getting around Callum Dalton as well. And that was impressive. And Melbourne now 6-10 on the season with 12 games to go.
There's so many different players you can highlight in their importance tonight, but Xavier Rattan-Mays' role might get lost a little bit. He only played 23 minutes, had 8 points, but he had 10 dimes and 0 turnovers. Now, we'll get a lot of praise in-house, but for a man who's led the team in scoring, rebounding, assists all throughout the season, for him to slot into a different-looking role and come out and play the way he did is really positive for Melbourne United can continue to bring. And you still know you have the ability to tell him, okay, we need offense right now, go out and do your thing, because when you're a bucket like that, you can flip it on whenever.
Let's go courtside to Jenny Screen with our Foot Locker player of the game.
I'm here, guys, with Chris Golding. Huge game from you tonight, 20 points, but it was a collective effort. It wasn't just a win. 5-game losing streak is over, but it was the way you went about it tonight. It was a really prolific one.
Yeah, it was. And, you know, we asked some people to sacrifice and give up good shots to get great shots, and I thought we did that across the board. Yeah, we had our moments where we were a little shaky, but I think the intent to get other people good looks and then play hard on the other end was there. I mean, shout out to XRM, gives up a wide open 3 right there to get Cal Dalton, first game back after an ACL, a wide open look. It's the type of stuff we're asking for, so credit to him.
Talk about other players that had a good input. XRM had 10 assists as well tonight, considering he's leading in all statistical categories. Shea Ili, we keep talking about the effect of this man. It must be so good that he is leading from the front for you guys, and it's nice to have him back.
Yeah, it's great to have him back. I mean, everyone's putting pressure on him to come and be the saviour, but you know, it's a big ask for someone that's been out of basketball for a long time, but just him being around and the way that he leads out on the floor, we stand taller with him around, so happy to have him back. Hopefully he got through unscathed, so we've got a lot of games to play.
12 games, in fact, 30 points in that fourth quarter from you guys tonight. What was the difference for you guys in order to get that win for you?
Yeah, look, we were shaky coming out of the half, and we knew that they play aggressive, they play quick, they shoot the ball really well, so you know, we had to tighten some things up, get back to some good sets, screen the ball well, move it, and shoot the ball with confidence, which we did.
I believe someone in your life had a birthday today. You want to give her a shout out? No doubt she'll be in bed though.
She better be in bed. Yeah, my baby girl turned 2 today, so I had a good day with her and the family, and nice to top it off with a win.
It is indeed. Congratulations on Foot Locker Player of the Game, mate.
Thanks, Screen.
Chris Golding, our Foot Locker Player of the Game there with Jenny Screen. And big celebrations, and he celebrated in style as well. 6 of 10 from deep, 20 points in the game.
And they look for him a whole lot more. You talk about good for great. Well, it's always going to be good for great if the ball ends up in Chris Golding's hands in these kind of positions. They found him in the right moments, and doing a lot of great movement away from the ball. That'd be a really pleasant film review session from Melbourne United. Every single player on the floor brought something positive, and it's just about continuing to build.
10 scorers, as I mentioned, that was impressive. And Golding with 20 points got his game going. His season high is 30, which he got in their last win in Southeast Melbourne, Phoenix. But they have got a lot of weapons, Corey. They're not too far away.
They sure do, but it's a tall order. There's a lot of games they're going to have to win.
We'll talk more about that when we return. We'll take a short break here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Earlier tonight, Cairns beat Illawarra by 1 in double overtime, and Melbourne have beaten Brisbane here in style as well by 16 points. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this.
Well, after losing 5 straight games, Melbourne United have answered here with their full roster back in action. They take care of business at home against Brisbane, winning by 16 points. They had a double-figure lead as early as the first quarter, then into the second. Brisbane made their run in the third, got it back to within 2, but Melbourne closed it out with a big last quarter. Corey, I think they can still cause some damage.
Look, I think they can still cause some damage as well. Fully loaded Melbourne United. They look really good. I was impressed. However, it's a tall order going forward. You got to beat Perth, you got to beat out Perth, and you got to beat out Adelaide. That's tough.
Not only that,
That's a tall order, Hooley.
it's considering nearly all their games are on the road in January because of the Australian Open. So you've got to continue to find ways to do this and build, but you've got to start somewhere.
Yep.
So they've started the game, we're full roster, they looked really good, and Brisbane fought hard and in patches, but ultimately just didn't put it together when it mattered most. And as I mentioned, they could have blown this out to 20 numerous times in the first half, but Brisbane did well to hang around. Sobey was key in that, but Jack Gack, that's a big positive they can take out of this. I thought he was terrific, his activity, and hopefully he continues to get some minutes to build into this season, because the Bullets, you know they've got their struggles as well. So as well as Melbourne United played, you still have to look at it as what did they beat? Now, they beat a team that's still searching for an identity. So can they do this against a team that is going to contend for the top 6? Well, we'll find out soon enough.
Well, we're going to find out on Monday night because they'll be over in Perth facing the Wildcats. Perth coming off a good win against Adelaide last night, 98-90. They're feeling good about themselves. Beat New Zealand in New Zealand. And now Melbourne, well, they're starting to make some noises. Well, that looms as a great game on Monday night. But before that, we've got some tremendous games to look forward to tomorrow as well. Phoenix against Adelaide and Sydney against Tassie in a grand final rematch, but all smiles in Melbourne, and a lot of it comes back to the return of Shea Ili.
And these highlights don't do him justice. I mean, look at those numbers from, first of all, when he came back in. He's played 20 minutes, he had 15, 4 and 4 to go with 2 steals. He probably forced
and a block.
Steals, and had a great block as well. Just all the little things he does that doesn't even show up in the stat sheet. You heard Chris Golding talk about the pressure of being the saviour. Well, just his presence alone literally brings the team up. You can see the whole different energy they had. They seem to just be enjoying themselves out there. They play really selfless, and yes, he can do this and he can do it on the other ends, but to have someone that Dean Bickerman solely trusts to go out there and say, we have a united brand of basketball and you have to lead that, now he's back. So he needs to continue to do that. And first, whether it means when he's not playing, he just needs to wear a helmet. He just keep whatever it takes. Whatever, like the red jersey in the corner.
Stay out there.
Just stay out there. Don't practice. We need you on the floor.
Just so efficient. 4 of 5 from the field, 5 of 5 from the stripe. Rarely making a mistake. Brings so much.
I mean, look, it was just great to see him out there, see him lead, put the ball in everybody's hands in the right spots, get it done defensively. Just welcome back, Shea Ili. Way to help break the streak.
Melbourne, well, are they on the way back? Big winners here tonight against Brisbane. Trust you have enjoyed our coverage. They won at 104-88 after earlier tonight. Cairns defeated Illawarra in double overtime. Been a big Saturday night, big Sunday coming up. Phoenix host Adelaide, Sydney and Tassie in a grand final rematch. We'll leave you for now, though. On behalf of the whole crew, I'm John Casey. We'll see you soon here on the Hungry Jacks NBL.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jacks and Bunnings Warehouse.